Hello and welcome to another video. Now in this video I am going to go through it's quite simple really, how to build a Pwnagotchi and how to set it up. So this is my first time doing one. So I've got all of this. So this is a Raspberry Pi 0WH. I believe the H stands for the headers pre-installed. If you just get the W, then these headers here won't be installed and you would have to solder them on. But I got the ones with the pre-installed headers, which was, I don't know, about £4 or £5 more, so it was worth buying. This is the screen. So this is why you need the headers, because that's how the screen connects to it. They've also given me this as well, I don't think I'll be needing. I've got a 32GB SD card. I don't actually have one of these, so I've got a converter to go from the micro SD card to a USB, and I also bought a battery pack for it as well. So all of this cost me £60 for everything that you see on the table. The Pi and the screen, the USB converter I got from a company called the Pi Hut, which are in England. What I'll do is I can link them on the description below, and these two I got off Amazon. So the card and the power bank I got off Amazon. Okay, so now with regards to setting it up, so I've all I've done so far is just taken the micro SD card out of the packet. I put it into the USB converter and I plugged it into my computer. So you can see it is this one here. So it's the E drive. You need to download, if you go onto the Pwnagotchi website, then it will tell you here where you can actually get the image that you need to flash onto the micro SD card. So this is the link here. This was released last year, and what I've downloaded is the zip file. So it's 1.9 gig. It's still downloading for me because I only did it not that long ago. So I'm going to pause the video, and when this has finished, then I will carry on. So while I'm waiting, actually, what I can do is I can just go through a little bit as to what the Pwnagotchi does. So essentially what it does is it's a little device that you can keep in your bag, and when you're walking down the street, what it does is it picks up the Wi-Fi signals that are around, and it will deauth basically the Wi-Fi connections that it can find, and it will wait for them to reconnect, and when it reconnects it will then capture the handshake that is performed by the access point and whatever device is trying to connect to it, and it will store the handshake. Once it's stored it, you can then come back and you can SSH into your Pwnagotchi and actually download the handshake, and then in your own time you can try and crack the password with something like Hashcat, which is what I use. So the Pwnagotchi basically just eats handshakes. That's what it does. It just goes around, it tries to capture as many handshakes as it can, and it just stores them so that you can then take them home and try and crack the passwords. Now the Pwnagotchi does not crack passwords. All it does is capture the handshakes. So you need a third party program like Hashcat to try and actually crack the encryption. So the Pwnagotchi's got, so it looks like this. So hopefully when it's all set up, it will look something like this. It's got a little smiley face as well. you've got all these faces here. So the more you use it, the more handshakes that it captures, the happier it will become. The less it captures, then sadder it becomes. It also is AI as well, so artificial intelligence. So it learns the best way over time. The more you use it, then it actually learns and alters its settings so that it can capture handshakes better. So it's quite clever considering it's on such a small device. What else? Handshake. If you don't know what a handshake is, you can look it up online. There's loads and loads and loads of information, but in very basic terms, whenever you have a device, so let's say in your house you have your access point, so your internet, your gateway to the internet. Let's say you also have a laptop that is connected to that access point, so that you can access the internet on your laptop. Now, when your laptop disconnects from the internet, whether you turned it off and back on again, or it's just dropped the internet for some reason, when it reconnects, your laptop and the access point will perform what's called a handshake. And in basic terms, all that does is it just confirms that the laptop has the correct credentials. If it does, then it allows it to connect to the internet through that access point. Again, you can find lots of information about how they actually work and the encryption they use online. So that's not what I'm doing in this video. All I'm doing is showing you the Pwnagotchi, but I thought I'd explain it very briefly just so you know. So just remember that so even if you go on the Pwnagotchi website, it even has a section here, and it will tell you about the WPA2 handshake, four-way handshake. It's got a nice little picture here as well. So if you don't know what they are, or what a handshake is, sorry, then you can come here and have a little look. So yeah, hopefully it's finished. No, a few seconds left. So yeah, you can get the Pi Hut is where I got it from. They are based in the UK, which is where I am. I think when I had a look on Amazon, you could get them on Amazon. So if you haven't got a company local to you or in your country, then have a little look on Amazon. Like I said, it was £60, so I don't think that's that much money. Considering I got the power bank as well, I think the actual, if I didn't buy the power bank or the converter, the USB converter, and even the memory card, I think the actual Pi itself and the screen was, I can't remember now, £30, something like that, between £30 and £40. So yeah, the actual device itself doesn't cost that much. Okay, so it's downloaded now. So I've got Etcher, so flash from file. So it's this one here, so it's on my desktop. Now I'm going to just double check. So I know it's drive E, so make sure that it is the correct place that your flashing is to, and I'm going to click flash. Yes. Okay, so this is 5.5 gig. So I'm going to pause the video and then I'll come back when it's finished. Alright, so what I could do while I'm waiting for that to load is if it's the first install, we need to set up a config file, and what we want to do in here, so I've just got Notepad up. What we want to do is put main name, so this will basically assign a name to the Pwnagotchi, so I'm just going to call mine my pet. Main language, so for me it's going to be English. All this you can find on their website. So you can also add this, a main whitelist, and in here you would put your home Wi-Fi name, so that means it won't try to capture the handshake of your home Wi-Fi. I just had to look up my Wi-Fi name, so it's BT. Okay, so that's that. Now, if you wanted plugins, so they have plugins that other people create, so they're optional extras, if you like. You can just write them here, so you can put main.plugins. Whatever the plugin is. Again, if you go on their website, you can find a list of all the plugins, but at the moment, I'm going to keep this simple. So the next one I want to do is UI display enabled true. So this tells the Pi that I have a screen attached to it. Display type. Okay, now I need to just pause the video and find out what one I actually have. So mine is a waveshare _2. Which again I found on their website. Just found what one I'd actually bought, what screen I'd bought, and then went on their website to confirm. UI display color. Now I believe when I looked on Pi-Hut, mine supports different colors, so I think it's red, black, and another one. I can't remember what. But I'm just going to go with black. So that is, as far as I'm aware, that is a simple config setup. So I'm going to leave that as it is and see how I get on. So I'm going to save as desktop. I'm going to save this as, first of all, select all files. I'm going to save this as config.toml. Right, so where is that? Yeah, it's at the top here. So that is main, let's just double check, main language, main name, whitelist. And we've got display enabled, display type, display color. Okay, so the flash is done. And you see now it's changed its name, it now says boot. So what I need to do, so this is the boot folder. What I need to do is drag this into, yeah, so copy boot, sorry, copy config into boot. Well, I'm afraid halfway through the video, my camera that I was using to film the actual Pwnagotchi decided to give up, so I'm having to use my laptop webcam, which is why the quality is not so good. Okay, so the flash was done. We made a config file and we put it in the boot section of this SD card. So all we need to do is insert the SD card. Now before I put the head on, or the screen on, we've got two ports here. So 1 and 2. If you can see them there. So this one is for when you want to start capturing handshake. So this is just power. This one is when you want to plug it into the computer. So all we're going to use for the minute is this one closest to the edge. So I'm going to connect this up. So once all the pins are lined up, just going to give it a firm squeeze. There we are. Okay, so that's now on. I'm going to find my lead. Plug it into this one. Grab my power bank. And then we will wait and see. Now apparently it can take a while to boot up if it's the first boot that you're doing. We have something because we have a green light on. Yeah. So I'm just going to leave it. When I start to see something happen, then I will continue playing the video. But for the time being, I'm just going to pause it because I don't know how long this is going to take. Alright, so I just wanted to say that I waited probably about 10 minutes and it didn't boot up. So I reflashed the SD card and now it's coming up. I shall show you in a second. Now it's loaded. I don't know if it's because I didn't have this included. So all I did was copy and paste this off the actual Pwnagotchi website. Now, if you give me a second. So yeah, I had to look up what this did because I couldn't remember. But this basically tells the Pwnagotchi whether it should connect to the internet. Also, it connects back to PwnGrid, it's called, when you plug it in. So when it's in manual mode, and that basically allows your device to keep track of like a ranking and a scoreboard. So it's a bit like it says on the website. It's a bit like Pokemon Go, only for Pwnagotchi. I didn't want that at the moment. I didn't want it sending data off at the moment, so I just removed it in the first config file, which could have been the reason why it didn't boot up. And then when I looked on the website again, it had this on here, but it was set to false if you didn't want it activated. So I'm assuming this needs to be in the config file. You can just set these two to false so that it doesn't send it back. So I'm just going to change the camera so that you can actually see it now. Right, so this is it. It's all set up. You can see it's been on for 7 minutes. If I'm honest, this is probably going to be the end of the video. So the video was just to show you building it and actually booting it up. I will do another video either tomorrow or the day after about how to actually access the handshakes. I might go through a few other options and some plugins, and then I should do a separate video on how to actually try and crack the handshakes that you get. But for the minute, this is it. It's on, and I shall probably test it tomorrow with my own Wi-Fi. At the moment, it's not going to try and capture the handshake on my internet because I set it to a whitelist, so it doesn't look for that. It will look for everything else apart from that internet or that access point. So that's going to be it for this video, and I shall post up another one in the next couple of days about how to actually connect into it, so how to SSH into it, as well as perhaps some extra features that we can do with it, and yeah, how to crack the actual files that you get, the handshakes. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please subscribe and like the video. Thank you.